The reason your money buys less every year was never just inflation, and it was never whoever's currently sitting in the White House. It's one rule that almost nobody ever mentions. Every drop of oil on Earth must be sold in US dollars. And if your paycheck comes in anything other than dollars, that rule is quietly taxing you. Because it forces the whole world to hoard dollars, lend America more than 9 trillion of them, and fund a debt that's now past 39 trillion. While the money you actually earn buys a little less every single year. So let me show you how it got built, why nobody's allowed to leave, and why, after 50 years, the first real crack is starting to show. To see the trap, you've got to go back to 1971, because until that year, the dollar was simple. It was backed by gold. Every dollar was basically a paper claim on real metal sitting in a vault. In theory, you could walk in, hand over the paper, and walk out with the gold. That promise was the only reason the world trusted it. Then Nixon ended it. Overnight. No more gold. From that morning on, the dollar was backed by nothing you could hold. Just trust. And trust is a terrible thing to back a currency with. By every rule in the textbook, it should have started sliding straight into the ground. Instead, 2 years later, America made it stronger than it had ever been, with a single phone call to Saudi Arabia. So here's what happened. A group of Arab oil producers got furious at America in 1973 for backing Israel in a war. So they hit back the one way that really hurt. They completely stopped selling their oil to the US and its allies. Almost overnight, America and its allies lost a huge slice of their oil supply, and the price exploded. It quadrupled in a matter of months. The kind of jump that today would break Twitter and get 3 congressional hearings scheduled by lunch. In the US, people were lining up for hours just to fill their tanks. The price of almost everything jumped. The whole Western economy started to panic. So America went to Saudi Arabia, the biggest oil producer on Earth, and offered a deal so simple, it's almost insulting. The kind of thing you'd scribble on a napkin over lunch, except this one ran the world for the next 50 years. Sell your oil only in dollars, nothing else, just dollars. And lean on the rest of OPEC to do the same. In return, America will keep you safe. Weapons, military bases on your soil, political cover whenever you need it. And that one rule quietly rewired the whole planet. Because every country needs oil. And if oil is only ever sold in dollars, then every country first needs dollars. Picture it like there's only one gas station for the entire world, and it only takes US dollars. Your own money will not work at the pump. No loyalty points, no app to skip the line. Just the one pump, and the one currency it accepts. So before you can fill up, you have to swap your money for dollars first. You would call that a scam. But America called it foreign policy. So now the whole world is stockpiling dollars. Which raises the question almost nobody actually asks. Where do all those dollars go? Here's the truth. The dollar doesn't just sit in a vault. That would be a waste. So the countries piling up dollars do the obvious thing. They lend them straight back to America. They buy US government debt, treasury bonds. Right now, the rest of the world is holding more than $9 trillion of that stuff out of a national debt that just blew past 39 trillion, growing by billions more every single day. Roughly a quarter of America's debt is bankrolled by countries that were more or less forced to buy it. It's like the world's least cancelable subscription. The kind you forgot you're still paying for. The way half the internet is still quietly paying for a streaming trial from 3 phones ago. Now watch the whole thing close into a circle. The world is forced to buy dollars to get oil. Those dollars flow back to America as cheap loans. Those cheap loans let the US government borrow almost for free and spend it on, among other things, the most powerful military the planet has ever seen. And that military is exactly what protects the oil regimes that promise to keep selling their oil in dollars in the first place. Read that again, because it's the whole video in one sentence. The dollar funds the army, that protects the deal, that keeps the dollar on top. A closed loop that quietly pays for its own security and bills the rest of the world for it. So the cleanest way to picture it? It's like a casino. Imagine a casino that forces you to buy its chips before you can buy anything in the whole town. Then, instead of letting you keep the chips, it borrows them right back off you and pays you a sliver of interest for the privilege. Then it takes your chips and hires the bouncers, the ones who make sure nobody ever opens a rival casino down the street that takes a different chip. You bought the chips. You lent them back, and you're paying for the muscle that keeps you inside. Yeah, a casino metaphor for the financial system. But that's just exactly what it is. There's actually a name for this. Valéry Giscard d'Estaing. France's finance minister in the 60s, later its president, had a phrase for it. He called it America's exorbitant privilege, which is a beautifully polite, very French way of saying America got the entire planet to fund its government and its army, and somehow made it completely legal. They just printed the money and made the whole fucking planet need it. So why doesn't anyone just walk away from a deal this lopsided? Because the system punishes anyone who tries. Every government on Earth knows it. And that's exactly why you're still paying into it to this day. Look at the ones who tried. Back in the year 2000, Iraq started selling its oil in euros instead of dollars. 3 years later, America invaded. Saying Iraq was hiding weapons of mass destruction. Those weapons were never found. But by the time the war was over, Iraq's oil was back to being sold in dollars again. Then Libya tried something bigger. It wanted to launch a brand new African currency, backed by gold, so it could sell its oil outside the dollar completely. That plan ended the moment Gaddafi was killed. And Iran has pushed harder than any country still standing. It sells its oil in Chinese yuan, not dollars. It's even charging oil tankers a fee. Paid in yuan. Just to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow sea route a fifth of the world's oil has to travel through. Most recently, Iran ended up in an open war with the United States. The official reason? Iran's nuclear program. Weapons of mass destruction, a threat to national security. Sound familiar? It should. It's almost exactly what they said about Iraq. Right before Iraq's oil went back to being sold in dollars. Weapons of mass destruction isn't an accusation anymore. It's a script they keep reusing. So, let me stop reporting for a second and just tell you what I actually think. Maybe it really is about the weapons. Maybe. But here's what I keep noticing. Every single time a country starts selling its oil in another currency, it suddenly gets labeled a threat. The kind that has to be invaded, sanctioned, or taken down by America. And it always seems to happen fast. Iraq, Libya, now Iran. You think that's a coincidence? I stopped believing in that many coincidences a long time ago. But you didn't come here for my opinion. You've got your own. So you decide. And here's the thing that actually keeps this whole system running until right now. Every other oil producer is watching. They don't need to get invaded themselves. They just need to remember what happened to the ones who did try. So they keep quietly selling their oil in dollars, like they always have. Because the thing that really keeps everyone in line was never the wars themselves. It's the fear of ending up next. And that fear is what keeps the whole world paying, including you. For 50 years, this whole system had one weakness. And only one. It only works as long as there's no other option. The moment a real alternative shows up, something big enough to actually use instead of the dollar, the illusion starts to fall apart. And that's exactly what's starting to happen now. Start with the most surprising one, Saudi Arabia. The country that signed the original deal has quietly stopped renewing its dollars-only promise. Back in 2024, it joined a new payment system, led by China, that lets countries trade with each other without using the dollar at all. Saudi officials have openly said they'd be willing to start taking Chinese yuan for their oil. They haven't torn up the old deal. But for the first time in 50 years, the country that built this system, alongside America, is publicly keeping its options open. That's the geopolitical version of keeping one foot out the door. And it's not just Saudi Arabia. China and Russia are also quietly building their own way to pay each other for energy without touching the dollar. India is buying Russian oil in its own currency, the rupee. And the BRICS group. The countries teaming up to depend less on the dollar. Now makes up about 40% of the world's economy. And underneath all of it, the numbers have been shifting for years. China now buys around 90% of Iran's oil, mostly paid in yuan. Not some of it. Not most of it. 90%. Roughly 1 out of every 5 barrels of oil traded in the world is now bought in yuan. And the payment network China built to skip the dollar completely has gone from moving about $100 billion a day to over $130 billion. As more and more oil quietly moves off the dollar. Now, let me be straight with you, because this is where a lot of these videos start exaggerating. The dollar is not dying, not even close. It's still 57% of all the money governments hold in reserve. The yuan is barely 2%. 2% is a seat by the door, not a seat at the table. But here's the thing you actually need to understand. It doesn't take a total collapse to change your life. It just takes the first real crack in a wall that stood for 50 years. And that crack has already started to show. But honestly, the loudest warning sign isn't any of this. It's not a speech or a headline, it's the gold. Central banks bought more gold in 2022 than in any year since 1967. Then they almost did it again in 2023. And these aren't random guys on the internet hyping gold. These are the most careful, most boring people in all of finance. The ones who manage entire countries' savings, the kind who get genuinely excited about a spreadsheet. When people that cautious quietly start trading their dollars for gold, it's not a hunch. It's because they're getting ready for something. They're swapping the money America can print for the one thing it can't. And here's why that matters to you. The last time this system broke, back in 1971, gold went from $35 an ounce to over $800 in just a few years. Not because gold suddenly got more useful, because a system collapsed and everyone rushed for the safest thing they could find. We might be watching a slower version of that exact thing right now. Except this time, gold has already shot past $4,000 an ounce. More than 100 times what it cost the morning Nixon cut the cord. The biggest, smartest investors on earth aren't waiting for this to break. They're already moving. They're not waiting for a headline. They already read the footnote. And this is the part none of us gets to opt out of. Have you ever wondered why that same cup of coffee that used to cost $4 somehow costs $7 now? Why everything you buy that comes from abroad keeps getting more expensive? Why your money seems to lose a little value against the dollar every year, no matter who's running the country? Same coffee order every morning. The price just kept climbing anyway. That's not your taste getting expensive. That's your money getting weaker. This loop is a big part of the answer. You didn't overspend. You're just living at the bottom of a system somebody else built. A deal you were never invited to and never asked to join. You just woke up one day already inside it, holding chips you never chose to buy, in a casino you were never allowed to leave. So here's the whole machine, in one breath. The dollar isn't strong because America holds the most gold. It doesn't. It isn't strong because it's backed by something solid. It isn't. It's strong because of a loop. Oil forces the world to hold dollars. Those dollars pay for the army. The army protects the oil. Run that for 50 years, and you get the most powerful money in history, built on nothing but everyone agreeing they have no other option. The dollar was never really backed by gold. It's backed by you having no other choice. And for the first time in 50 years, the first real crack is showing. So let me leave you with the real question. And I actually want your answer. 10 years from now, does the dollar still run the world, or does the crack we just talked about finally give way? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And you won't catch this one on the nightly news. There's no ticker symbol for a 50-year-old handshake. No single day it broke. Just a slow leak nobody's paid to cover. That's exactly why we are. Subscribe and stick around.